I will repeat it again for the second time once more, this time with feeling over and over again. Don't find excuses. Find ways. Rolling of the eyes. Does that scenario sound familiar? As soon as we ask for something, the person we're talking to gives us a litany of sub stories, alibis, and name it, you got it. You know what we call them in our group? We call them energy vampires. Ah, it's just so good. You've coined the name for me, Energizer Bunny. I don't like energy vampires. They don't add value whatsoever to any situation. And Ed is going, yeah, really, they don't. And so I'm going to be talking about what I do as a talk show host, producer, and director. Yes, I direct and produce and host while people are calling in live from around the world. And you say, wow, you're really bright. I'm like, no, I just don't have a budget. So I have to do it myself. That's what happens when you're a private investor in a production company, right? So I came back to Toastmasters after an absence of over a decade when pandemic hit. Why? Well, you look behind me. That's where I live, in one of those buildings. And if you look close enough, you will see me, I hope you don't, in one of those rooms. What I'm going to share with you is what is the very reason why I came back, to help people in Toastmasters learn how to be in a live talk show. And you're saying, but we don't want to be in a live talk show. I'm like, hello, duh. Did it ever occur to you that every time you are in Zoom land on a screen, ta-da, you're on the same screen as Netflix? Yes. People are like, oh, I didn't realize that because you weren't thinking. So I'm not going to teach you mentoring for basics because you're DTMs. I'm going to, if you like, how many of you would like to learn what production's really like? If you raise your hand, I'll share with you. If you raise your foot, I'll raise mine too. All right. When it comes to live talk shows like this, right? And live phone in, did it occur to you that the four pillars, the four core values of Toastmasters apply? Ding, 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 ding. People are like, four, what are the four? And this is what I remind people. This is all I do in mentoring. If we have to forget everything, we should have tattooed on our forehead so we can see it in each other's face. IRSE, which is the way it's presented in the website. But it's so hard to remember. So I have my version, just for easy recall, I make it RISE. Yes, rise above every situation. Don't find excuses. Find ways. Isn't that what leadership and communication's about? So, rule number one, you kind of heard it a while ago. Pat Moran, no explaining, right? I make it easier. Grow up. Stop whining. And most of all, stop blaming. Why? RISE. What does that mean? Four pillars of this organization, this wonderful global organization: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. People are like, oh yeah, I kinda. Yeah, you should not kinda. I am encouraging, inspiring, and motivating every Toastmaster around this planet to have RISE, my version, with respect first and foremost in everything they do at work, in their personal relationships, and most of all, you know this, with their mother-in-law. Yes. Yes. So, my first suggestion, are you aware that there is a 360-degree evaluation in strategic relationships pathway? 360 degrees is something known to some and new to others. We know that in evaluation, some expert evaluates somebody down the line. But in 360 degree, which is a full loop, in the corporate world and business world, yes, Pat Moran, we have a colorful way to give evaluations 360 degrees. Even the janitor gets to evaluate the messy CEO. Sir, can you please aim when you throw your trash into the trash bin so I don't have to work that hard? What is my message? I would like, as I said, to challenge, inspire, and motivate all of you to spread the word to everybody, to use these four pillars, the core values of Toastmasters in everything they say and do. Now, that's going to take forever for me to explain, but let today be the launch of my advocacy for you to spread the word and join me. Respect in all ways for everyone, down the ladder, up the ladder, across the room, and around the world. Would you like to do that? Will you raise your hand or you don't like? You like? Raise your hand, raise your foot if you really like to do it. And that is my version of mentoring DTMs to be leaders and communicators. Respect, integrity, service, and excellence, with respect being launched today as the first of my series of 4 core values for spreading Toastmasters around the world. Sending you love from Manila. Mwah, mwah, mwah.